There are different ways to interpret the recall election barely failing to qualify. Do you see this as a vindication, proof that LA County voters support your policies, so it's time to double down on them?
The reality is that, people are wary. They're people that they feel that they're unsafe.
Look, it's not real. That's just how you feel. Why do you feel that way? Joining me now, my friend John Phillips of the Great John Phillips Show on KABC in Los Angeles. John, I hope you don't feel unsafe. What's wrong with your feelings?
No. Could he be any more patronizing if he tried? I never thought I'd say this, Jesse, but I think for the first time in California history, they're actually saner in San Francisco than they are down here in the insane asylum in Los Angeles, because they dumped their worthless DA, and we still have that buffoon running that office. And under his leadership, LA is not a safe place to be. On the radio last week, I just threw out the question, give me a call if you've had a gun pulled on you in the last year. My switchboard blew up like Nagasaki. I took calls for an hour. I could have taken calls for 3 hours. This guy is a pro-criminal district attorney who will not prosecute people. You have convicted gang members, convicted criminals who are caught on tape saying they want to tattoo his name on their face. They love him so much. And if there's ever a moment in time I wish someone couldn't spell, it would be when that tattoo was being put on their face. But it is absolute lawlessness right now in Los Angeles under this guy's leadership. I'll tell you, the one mistake that R. Kelly made was doing what he did outside of Los Angeles. Because if he did it in Los Angeles under George Gascon, forecast says golden showers.
Gosh, John. All right, John, a lot of people, most people watching us right now are not in Los Angeles. Obviously, many will be, but what is it like? Because I've spent plenty of time in LA. When I was in the Marines and we had 4 or 5 days off, we'd go down to Hollywood and chase women around, and I remember it not being bad. I had a good time.
It's usually a really fun place. The restaurants are fantastic. You've got a great entertainment here. Usually our sports teams are doing well. It's a fun place to live. You can't beat the weather. But really, ever since the shutdown started, it has turned into a zombie apocalypse movie. And then when you combine the homelessness with this guy as district attorney, it's turned into a sequel of The Purge, the movie, where people know they can get away with whatever it is that they want to do. So you constantly have to be looking over your shoulder because there are random acts of violence all the time. 7-Elevens getting knocked off, people being shot, mothers with babies being run over, police officers being murdered. That's essentially the local newscast every single day.
Okay, the recall failed. Now, I have plenty of friends in Los Angeles. They all hate him. They say everyone they know hates him, but the recall failed. What happened?
Well, they threw out about 30% of the signatures. Now, I love the fact that when we have an election, if you've got an absentee ballot anywhere near the registrar, anywhere near election day, oh yeah, bring them in. We'll find some more after we start counting until we get the desired result. But when it comes to counting signatures for this recall, the registrar was about as persnickety as you can get, throwing them out for one reason or another. And when organizers of the recall wanted to sit in his office as he was going through the signatures and throwing them out or keeping them, he said no. So he went through all the signatures in darkness and wouldn't let anyone else sit in and watch him do it. This guy used to be an elected Democrat politician up in the state of Washington, and then he ran the elections up in King County, where they had that very famous close election for governor, and they kept finding ballots at the last minute. He was the guy, Dean Logan.
Okay, John, this is a dumb question. How's that legal? How could you just count all the things in the dark and kick everyone else out? That doesn't sound legal.
Yeah, well, they're going to take him to court, and who knows what's going to happen there. But it just doesn't certainly seem fair to me. It doesn't seem fair to you. And they turned in enough signatures where they should have been able to cross that threshold. And then all of a sudden, sudden this curveball comes out. Oh no, sorry, about 30% of them were thrown out.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, The Forgotten Genocide, the first episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.